Cellular respiration, the things autotrophs and heterotrophs do, by Miss Hoskins. In this video, you are going to learn how to analyze structure and function between cells and provide an explanation for the role that cellular respiration plays in the cycling of matter and the flow of energy within a cell. Now, the goal of cellular respiration is to convert chemical energy that's in food, particularly glucose, to chemical energy stored in the ATP. So we use carbohydrates first for energy, but any food can be processed or broken down as a source of energy. The chemical reaction that we use for cellular respiration is pretty much the opposite of photosynthesis, or photosynthesis in reverse. We take glucose, C6H12O6, and we add oxygen gas, 6 molecules of oxygen gas, and we break that down and make 6 molecules of H2O, everyone loves water, and 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, plus ATP, or energy. Now, in cellular respiration, remember glucose and oxygen, those are the reactants. Those are basically the ingredients that are going into cellular respiration. And the products, or the results of the reaction, are carbon dioxide and water. So carbon dioxide and water are coming out of the reaction. Energy is released in the form of ATP from this process, but it isn't necessarily considered a product. There's no molecule involved in ATP, so it's not necessarily a product of it because we can't account for the phosphorus and all that in the reactant section. So we just say that it's released. So where does cellular respiration take place? If you remember, the mitochondria has really 3 basic parts, but the 2 major parts are this inner membrane, and then on the outside of the membrane is this like fluid-like stuff. We call that the matrix. And cellular respiration takes place in the mitochondria. And it takes place in the presence of oxygen, which is why most cellular respiration is aerobic. The first stage of glycolysis is a 10-step process of splitting a 6-carbon molecule of glucose in half. And it's going to form these 2 equal components. They're 3 carbon molecules, and they're called pyruvate. And this occurs in the cytoplasm and requires no oxygen at all, meaning it's anaerobic. Anaerobic means it doesn't require any oxygen. But it does produce a net ATP of 2, and also 2 NADH molecules. So for 1 glucose, you get 2 pyruvate molecules and 4 ATP molecules. But it uses 2 ATP in the process, so it only nets 2 ATP molecules. After glycolysis, the cell must make a decision. If oxygen is present, then the cell will go through a 2-step process known as aerobic respiration, where it's going to use oxygen. Or if oxygen is not present, then the cell is going to go through a process of anaerobic respiration. We also call that fermentation in order to get energy. So in glycolysis, if there's oxygen, O2 gas, it's going to go into an aerobic process, and if there is none, it's going to become an anaerobic process, also known as fermentation.